inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch, no. Real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. You know, I could come up with podcast episodes by doing one thing every single day. Just scroll all of the ads that are on Facebook. And I love it how I see these posts where you don't have to write a book to be successful, or every single entrepreneur that wants to be successful should have a book. You see these things, right? If you've listened to me, I've said, hey, Google stuff and you can find anything to support whatever it is you believe in. But let's talk about this, right? You guys are tuning in to me as a coach. You want to know what I think about whether or not you should or you shouldn't write a book. The first thing that I'm going to say is that ultimately, if writing is not your cup of tea, then don't force yourself to do something that you don't like to do. But just because you don't like to write, that isn't an excuse for not having a book. You can always have it transcribed. You could have someone else dictate what you're writing. I know that may be long, that may not be what you want to do, yada, yada, yada. But I'm just saying the loving or not loving the art of writing is not the reason why you should make the decision. You should be making the decision based on a couple of other things. For me personally, I do firmly stand behind that it is an awesome thing for entrepreneurs to have written a book. It's your expertise, and it is something that it'll last a lifetime. Think about some of the books that you read. I have read so many books that I can still quote to this day, or that they are deeply embedded into my thoughts. And it impacts the way that I coach because of the things that I've learned and I've gathered from reading a book. These people all said that I'm smart enough, I'm great enough, I'm genius enough that my methodologies / philosophies and the way that I say it, even though it mirrors some other greats out there, it's so powerful, I should have it out there in a book. You know, a book isn't something that's just sitting there with a bunch of words that you've written. It's a tool. And if it isn't a tool, then that would be the reason why some of you think it's a waste of time. If you plan on writing a book and putting it on Amazon so that you can become rich, well, then you've got the wrong idea. You need to really be dedicated to that. And I'm not talking about becoming an author. I'm just talking about whether or not you should or you should not be writing books. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And you glean from what I'm telling you and see how it'll work for you. Me personally, I trust my genius. I work with strategy, mindset, and sales. When I am at a live event, I want to have materials that even if I'm not getting clients there. I have something to deposit in them, something for them to read, something for them to remember me by. And people do still like to read books, whether that is in print, audio, or in digital form. I personally have written a book on strategy. I've written a book on sales, and I am currently, I take that back. I've written a book for sales and for mindset. Now I'm working on a couple of books. Yes, I said two books for strategy, because all of my methodologies, I want people to have access to me in any given way. I remember I went to this convention and this man was like, hey, if you want to work with me, because these are all of the things that I have. And his business was very robust. He was a multi-millionaire, and he worked in real estate, and he worked with money management, and he coached business owners. And he's like, if your business is in this place, but you want to elevate your business to another level so that you can have more income, so that you can invest into real estate, you can sign up and work with me right now for $6,000 for X amount of weeks for such and such amount of time. If you don't have that kind of money, I'm not getting ready to try to pimp you into buying anything from me. If you don't have the money now, this is not for you. But if you want to know, he said, you most definitely can build a business on your own. But if you want to build it the slowest way, then you can get my books and you can read them. And this man had a table up there while he was speaking with about 15 books that he had written. And there were a lot of people in that audience who did not sign up to work with him. Let's just say that he was lucky if 1% of the people signed up immediately. They didn't do that. But do you want to know what they did do? They ate up his books, book after book after book. And I'm sure some of the people that didn't buy them right there, because he also let them know how to get them on Amazon as an ebook, they were ordering them then. And I really don't know his numbers, but based on the lines, based on the prices of the book, I can honestly tell you he probably made $1,000 in one day just from selling those books. And that for him was like probably fuck off money. Honestly, it's like, oh, well, maybe if my kids, do some chores, they can earn this $1,000. It doesn't mean as much to him as it does to you, though. What's the state of your business? Some of you would be lucky if you made $1,000 in 1 week. And you have to have a different kind of mindset if you're going to be an author. Your mindset has to be on what is the long game. See, a lot of people are telling you the only thing you need to have is a great high ticket option so that you can get paid and you can make all of this money. But a lot of you have to look at the total picture. How many followers do you have? How good are you at outreach? How well are you at sales conversion? Because while you're working with all of those people, you still have to be thinking about when their term is up, will they renew? Will you have another offer for them? And no matter how great the experience was, and sometimes you can look at people and be like, I know they still need to work with me, but they are comfortable. They don't want as much for themselves as you want for them, and they go do something else. And there are other people who really, really want to work with you, but while they're in that season, now put this all together, while they're in that season of getting themselves in a position to be able to work with you, your books may be all that they have. Some people, my podcast is all that they have. There's one young woman, I met her from her tuning into my podcast, and she eventually ended up signing up to work with me because she used as much of what I gave and applied it herself, but she still needed somebody to help her with those blind spots. And that's what your book can do for you. And it also shows a lot subconsciously to the people that buy it. If you took the time to write a book about it, you must really believe your shit. You can promote your books, you can sell your books, and inside of your books, you should always be offering people something. Hey, get this for free. I can help you with this. Don't forget to call me if you have questions. However it is that you do what you do. And just visualize. Once you get to that point where you've reached your critical mass and your name is well known, people will go back and get your stuff. How many of you have ever had somebody, whether that's IG or old Facebook video, have people, it's like, dang, did they troll me that hard that they liked a picture that I made umpteen months or a year ago? Did they really just tap into that video just now? Trolling is real. Trolling is good. And people are always looking. People are always searching subjects on Amazon for books. People still go to barnesandnobles.com. People are reading. So do I believe that you should write a book? I absolutely do. And it also does something to you. It really makes you look at and analyze my processes, my systems, my beliefs. And when you have to take that and translate it into a book, you have to dissect it in a different kind of manner, because you want to make sure that you're explaining it in a way that is extremely easy to grasp for the individual that picks that book up. You may also learn some things about your process yourself. And then if you have a group of people that really like you and are willing to read through it or skim through it and can give you some advice and say, hey, you know, when you say this may be vague to other people, you're going to be strengthening your tool to be able to coach, to be able to market, or whatever it is that you do. Should you write a book? Damn Skippy. I can tell you right now, I've got a 10-book deadline goal. There are certain things that I teach, and I said, you know what? Somebody can pay me, well, depending on what the price is. It used to be $4,000, but you could pay me when I get ready to launch my package price and profit program to be in that group. Or you could just buy all of the damn books that I've written and take your time and do this yourself. Because everybody, no matter how much they want to, is not going to be in a position to invest at that moment. And you guys know that I'm a firm believer of having something low, middle, and high to offer people. Individuals that talk to you and talk only this high ticket shit, only living in the beaches, only living on the sand. You got to understand there are an elite few of people with certain connections that can do that. But even with the elites of the elites, that's why you can buy you some gum at Target, or you could buy you some overpriced furniture, because I'm not going to even go there. Let me stop before I digress. But it doesn't make a difference if it's low or high ticket. And when you go onto their websites, they have things that are even priced at an even a higher rate. That's why furniture stores have the clearance section, because you don't always have people coming into your store that's going to want to pay for the higher quality items. Let's look at this for real, for what it's worth. And in the meantime and in between time, you are continuing to get people to see and to touch what you've written. So get out there. If you've been entertaining writing a book, write the freaking book. If you're a little bit lost on formulating your systems and your methodologies and where to put them in, you know where to find me at. You know where to holler at me. I've done this on multiple occasions. And if you look, you'll notice that my clients they're writers too. And they're beginning to flood the marketplace with their books as well. You guys know where to find me. Just go to augustcrenshaw.com. If you're really, really serious about going to the next level, if you're a boss, you're the decision maker, you have your money, and you just got to make up your mind where you want to go, we can talk. If you're being nosy, you don't need to be nosy. I have almost 200 podcast episodes. Go and listen to those. If you don't believe I know my shit by now, then I'm just being real. Don't waste your time going. I'm not here for the curious. I am here for the convicted. Okay. I'm not here for the curious. I'm here for the convicted. The ones that are convicted that I got to do something now because my dream, I'm not going to lose it to someone else because I didn't execute. So otherwise, get out there and write that book. Deuces. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomen.don't bitch podcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in